Welcome back, everybody. We are going to do another little episode on what I read on Google. So today is about why are kettlebells bad? Why are kettlebells bad? Bad at what? Bad at math? Bad at, I think they're actually pretty good because a lot of them know kilogram conversions and imperial. Anyway, why are kettlebells bad? So the thing is, the kettlebells are just another weight, just like a dumbbell. The thing is, they're just, the physics of them are slightly different. If you think kettlebells are bad, then you have to say that barbells are bad, dumbbells are bad, any other weight training is bad. If you first start out and you don't get any proper guidance, that's the biggest thing of why kettlebells could be bad, because they're just another weight that weighs 26 pounds or 53 pounds or 10 pounds compared to a different shaped weight, okay? So, get proper guidance, get proper instruction, and I highly recommend at least talking with an experienced trainer, okay, a person that has used kettlebells for a long time, and then follow who they work with. Are they doing stuff that produces very good clients that are capable of stuff? Do they have a reputable brand, or do they have a reputable center? I mean, that's a big thing. So do some research. Just don't jump into any Instagram 30-second, 30-minute workout that has 10 different kettlebell exercises that you don't have any clue doing, okay? Start with the basics. Obviously, I'm going to promote what I do because I have over 12 years in doing kettlebell stuff, starting with the basics for people. So there's some links below that can show you some free and paid for programs that will help guide you into getting into kettlebell training. So why are kettlebells bad? Is there something, there's a lot of stuff to do with a lot of hip hinging. So people, if you've had a lot of issues with your back and are unaware if this is going to possibly bother you, talk to a physical therapist, talk to a doctor before starting. Maybe you have disc issues, or maybe you have facet issues, like vertebrae issues, things like that. Doing a lot of kettlebell swings. Finding the proper weight for you is going to be a really important thing. A lot of people have started off in a gym and they say they're really, really strong, or they think they're strong in conventional weightlifting, so they get a very heavy kettlebell. I see this all the time where a guy feels like he has to start with 53 pounds or 70 pounds. That's absolutely ridiculous. You see some some of the world's strongest lifters that are using 53 and 70 pound kettlebells, and when they first start, they still don't have really, really good form. So if you're not used to doing any weight training or kettlebells at all, please start lightly. Let go, get rid of your ego. It doesn't matter. I think a really good starting point for possibly a guy is about 12 to 16 kilograms. You know, there's nothing wrong with having two 12-kilogram kettlebells and using them, because like I said, the physics of them and how they move, it's not just straight up and down. There's so many different angles that kettlebells are going to use, and changes of weight because of their velocity, because of the curve in the swing, the snatch, the clean, all sorts of stuff like that you're not used to doing with strict pressing and bench pressing and stuff like that. Your whole body is going to get, well, basically from the kettlebell, it's going to try to yank you to the ground, okay? And not in a straight line. That's the thing. There's a lot more angles to focus on. That's why kettlebells are incredibly athletic. They're very good crossover into using kettlebells into helping you with sports and MMA or anything like that, jiu-jitsu, movement, anything like that. They're really good for that because they're trying to wrestle you to the ground, okay? So anyway, what else could be bad? So here's one thing that I noticed, that kettlebells why they are bad. If you're letting that kettlebell bash you on the wrist every single time, you're going to develop some problems, okay? If you're letting them yank your wrist back, catching back here all the time without using a kettlebell handle properly, you're probably going to develop some medial epicondylitis. You're going to develop tendonitis issues from constantly getting yanked around, okay? So once again, that's much less likely to happen with lighter weights, okay? So start light, and as you feel like your form is progressing, stay there for a little bit longer and then move up. There's also, we don't have to make this jump from 16 kilogram to 24 kilogram to 32. I think it's absolutely ridiculous now to do that, considering there are enough kettlebells around in molds that have made 2 to 4 kilogram increment jumps, 5 pound increment jumps. There's a reason why micro-loading on, well, with dumbbells, I mean, you have 5 to 10, 5 pound increments, some different. For barbells, you have 2.5, you have even less than that. Some people have ounces, but let's just say you have 2.5, 5 pound increments that you can increase. There's a reason why you don't want to make these giant jumps. No one's deadlifting 225 pounds and then say, ooh, immediately, oh, I did that 5 times, let me jump to 315. It's just not a great idea. Yes, kettlebells are much less, they're a sub-maximal weight, but they still are your max in that movement right there, okay? So if you can snatch 53 pounds overhead and it's not perfect, please don't try to jump to 32 kilograms, 70 pounds, okay? The chances of getting injured there are much higher, all right? Kettlebells are meant for higher repetitions, all right? I do strength training with them, but I have done endurance and muscle stability, muscle endurance, strength endurance, much longer than doing strength stuff with that. So the form is down, and then we can know how much heavier we can go. Practice your form. It is so imperative. So once again, why kettlebells are bad. A, you let the kettlebell trash you. B, you don't know what you're doing. That's part of it. C, you're possibly doing them in an environment that isn't conducive to training with them. So a lot of people don't have a large enough space. They're trying to maybe do them, since you can do them anywhere, there's people training outside often, maybe in their yard, maybe in slippery surfaces, maybe in different areas. I mean, if you drop a kettlebell, just give an example from personal experience. If you drop a kettlebell, handle goes down into the dirt, you forget about it, and you go and step in that, it's not going to be fun. Things like that. A lot of people see people training barefoot with kettlebells. That's fine, but remember, your feet sweat too, just like your hands. So you got to be really careful that you're not going to slip. Just be very mindful. Kettlebells require you to be very mindful, and that's only using one. So then there's people doing double kettlebells, okay? So if your form isn't incredibly good with single kettlebells, it's going to be incredibly bad using 2 at once. Because remember, it's not a bar. They're independent of each other. And the weight changes position from the swing to your clean and overhead for your presses. Remember, that weight is going to be dissipated from the point of your wrist, your forearm, and your bicep when you rack position. And as you press, that weight is going to be dissipated around the wrist and lower arm area. Okay? So when you swing, that weight is going to be away out here when you grip. Okay? It's very, very different. So learning how to control and support, how to connect and grip the kettlebell is very important. It's very different than a barbell and a dumbbell. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I don't think kettlebells are bad. It's just like giving a person that just started to have a driver's license, giving them a Corvette. It's not the car's fault. It's kind of how what the car allows to happen. So driving too fast, whatever. following race car videos online and trying to do the same stuff. It's very similar to what I see in the kettlebell industries. Like when people first want to get a kettlebell, then they might even follow some of my stuff, but I'll put a disclaimer saying this is not for beginners. Not a lot of people do that. Okay, so anyway, kettlebells aren't bad. It's people doing them without knowing what they're doing. All right.